Okay, so what we're going to be talking about today is the PSAT, and we're going to be specifically focusing on the math portion because the PSAT score of a 430 can be used for the Eldra EOC concordance score for graduation purposes. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. What I did was I pulled a scale score, and we need a 430. And what that means is we need to get 15 correct, okay? What I'd rather shoot for is get like between 19 and 20 correct. But what we're going to do is we're going to try to target 20 easy questions to answer. We're not going to focus on the super hard ones because this is a time test. We want to make sure we have enough time to do the easy ones. So what we're going to do is we got to figure out, we need to get 15 correct. And how it's broken out is there's a no calculator part of 17 questions, and then there's a calculator part of 31 questions. So that's a ratio of probably 1/3 to 2/3, okay? So what we could do is we can target 5 here and 10 here, and we'll get our 15 score. Now, logically, let's try to hit about 8 here and probably about 14 here, okay? If we focus on 18 and 14, we can make sure that we hit that score of 15 correct. So that's what we're going to go ahead and do. As you can see, this fall of 2020, so you may have the fall of 2020 or the fall of 2022. It doesn't matter because they're both practice test 2 and practice test 2. So we're not going to worry, we're not going to go ahead and worry about that. We're just going to focus on the actual questions, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to put this one to the side because it's the same thing. Okay, so what we want to do is start at the number 1 and we'll just go down the way. A high school counselor conducted a study over 16 consecutive quarters. Okay, so let's just read let's go to the question and read it. During which of the following periods is the increase in the number of students with part-time jobs largest? Okay, so quarter 4 to quarter 6, that's not a good increase at all. Quarter 7 through 10, okay, that's a significant one, so let's leave that one in there. 11 to 14, no, that's flat, so that isn't going to work. And 13 through 16, whoa, that's flat too. So obviously, the only one is that. Again, during which of the following periods is the increase in the number of students with part-time jobs largest? So what's the biggest one? It'll be that one right there, okay? Let's go down to number 2. Eli saves money each month to buy a new computer. The total amount he saved was T. Okay, as you can notice, we just did one of these in the no calculator section, right? It's going to be the same thing. We just did one of these questions. So you're going to see these often on the test. So you need to understand this concept. If you don't understand this, come see Miss Martin and I can give you some more examples of this, okay? But we need to understand how to do it. Eli saves money each month to buy a new computer. The total amount he saved was T. The total amount can be calculated by the question T equals 83 plus 30M for 30 months, right? So how much money does he collect each month? He can save $30 per month. How much money did he start with? $83 for the total, right? So he starts with $83 in his savings account, and then each month he can save another $30 to it. And then that's what the total is going to be. What number of months since it started saving? So where M is the number of months since he started saving. What does the number 83 represent? Remember, I just talked about that, right? The amount of money Eli started with. Yep, that's the answer that we just said, didn't we? So the answer's right there. We are going to see this type of question on every test. We got to be ready for it, okay? Then the next one, according to the Department of Agriculture, consuming 100 grams of banana provides 0.15 milligram of zinc. Which of the following is closest to the number of milligrams of zinc provided by 140? Oh, this is easy. We just times 140 times 0.15. So what we're going to do is we're going to get our calculator, and we're going to go 140 times 0.15. And what do we get? We got 21. Which answer is 21? It's B right here. That's our answer. It's going to be that easy, okay? Okay, let's go to the next one. When the equation at y equals 5x plus p, where p is a constant, is graphed in the xy plane, the line passes through the point -2 and 1. What is the value of p? All right. So remember when I said right here, if you have two numbers in parentheses, that first number is equal to x, -2, and y equals 1. So what we're going to do is we're going to plug that in for that. So we're going to say y1 equals 5 times -2 plus p, and we're just going to solve for p, right? So 5 times -2 is 10, -10, right? Plus p equals 1. So now we've got to get p by itself. Remember, our job of an equation is to get the letter on one side by itself. So we got to get rid of this. And if you remember my rules for one-step equations, this is going to be rule number 2, okay? We're going to add 10 to both sides to get rid of it from that side. So now p is equal to 11. Okay, there we go. All right, so let's move on to the next question. We've got 4 questions already done. We're doing great on this, right? We only need 15 questions on this test to get your 430 that will give you the graduation requirement. And remember, any ones you don't know, you need to choose the letter A throughout the whole test, or you need to choose D throughout the whole test, okay? Don't go back and forth, A and D. You decide, I'm gonna pick A all the way through, or I'm gonna pick D all the way through. You're not going to go flip-flopping back and forth, okay? Because that's going to give you some extra points on its own because of probability chances. Okay, so now we're gonna be doing the scatter plot. Above shows the number of hits and the number of times at bat. So number of times of hits and the number of times at bat. This is a positive correlation. Remember when I was talking about positive correlation and a negative correlation? So this is a positive slope. Remember the slope. I'm going to write this again so you guys remember. Slope is rise over run. Okay? How many do you rise for how many you run? Okay. So now it says, which of the following statements about the relationship between the number of times at bat and the number of hits is true? It's positive. I just answered our own question just by explaining slope. As the number of times at bat increases, the number of hit decreases? Absolutely not. No, because it's a positive correlation. As the number of times at bat increases, the number of hit increases. Yep, that's going to be the answer. We can double check, but that's going to be the answer. As the number of times at bat increases, the number of hits remain constant. No, because it goes up, right? So we know that has to be wrong. And as the number of times at bat decreases, you can't do that. It can't decrease, so it only can increase. So we know that's wrong. All those answers are nonsense, except for that right answer, okay? For the player with 450 times at bat. Okay, so we got number of times at bat, and we're going to go to 450. Let's hit right here, right? 450. Let's see what it says. The actual number of hits the player had is approximately how many fewer than the number of hits predicted by that line of best fit. All right, so we got between 100 and 125, right? So between 100 and 125, half of that would be like 112, right? So we're guesstimating about 112. So for the player so how many fewer than the number of hits predicted by the line? Okay, so we're guessing 125 minus 112, right? 125 minus 112 is about 12, okay? Is 12 closer to 10 or is 12 closer to 20? That answer is 10. There we go, okay. So we're through 6 questions already. We're doing great. All right, so I'm just going to continue going for a little while, okay? Now, an advertisement states that the printing rate of a certain printer is 400 characters per second. Wow, okay. Oh, and we're looking at words per minute. So if it's 400 characters per second, how many seconds are in a minute? 60 seconds per minute, right? Okay. So according to the convention that one word consists of 5 characters, what would be the advertised printing rate in words per minute? Okay, so we got 400 characters per second. So let's times 400 times 60, which is easy. Let's use our calculator because this is a calculator section. So 400 times 60. Wow, that's 24,000 characters in 1 minute, okay? But now, look, we have to divide. They want words per minute. So we got to divide our 24,000, divide by 5. So we get 4,800, and there's the answer. Okay, so we want to divide that by the 5, and you get the 4,800. Okay, easy peasy. All right, so the next question. The table above shows the yearly salary in dollars of an employee at a company. Which of the following best describes the type of model that fits the data in the table? Okay, so salary, so what we got to do is figure out how much increases every time, okay? So what I want to do, I always have to do this both ways. The linear increasing by approximately 140 per year. Linear, okay, so we got exponential increasing by approximately 3% per year. I'm going to test this theory out right here, this 3%, because that's easy to do. Remember, that's what I said. Remember the 1.08 was sales tax, right? So if it says exponential increasing by approximately 3% per year, we're going to say 1.03. So we're going to take this 38,000 and times it by 1.03. So that's what I'm going to plug into my calculator. 38,000 times 1.03. That is 39,140. Look. And then let's test the theory again. So that was a 3% increase. Let's test the theory again. Times that same 39,140 times 1.03, and it's 40,314, 3%. We are so smart. So it can't be 9% because that would be 1.09. No, this was a sales tax. This was a sales tax question from that last, the question on the non-calculator question over on the other side. So 1.09, that would really be off. So it's not this, it's not that, it has to be this one right here by the 3%. So now you know how to add an exponentially increasing every year by a certain percentage. Or if you're trying to figure out sales tax, you do 1.08, or in the case of Polk County, it would be you do whatever you're buying times 1.07, because we're 7% here in Polk County, and then we would get how much the total cost would be with the purchase of whatever we're buying plus the sales tax. Pretty cool, huh? So you learned something new. I see like terms right here. This is easy peasy. I call this the stacking method. If you want a worksheet on this, you can look up like terms. There's a worksheet on this. If you want more practice on this, I can give you, come to Miss Martin's room, 34-133, and we will get you some more practice on this one. But let's go through it. I'll show you how to do it. I call this the stacking method. So I do x to the second y minus 3y to the second plus, oh, I gotta squeeze it in, 5xy to the second, okay? Now, because it has a negative number, I am going to change all these signs. That plus is going to become a negative. That's going to be a plus. This is turning into a plus. Okay, so then I got to add plus x to the second y. Now, if it gets confusing for you, you can always stick a 1 in front of that if it doesn't have a number associated with it. I'm going to do the same thing here. 1x to the second y plus Ooh. Okay, so this is different, right? So I can't add it to that, so we're going to add that to the end. So minus 3y to the second, oop, here we go, plus, we got to get matching stuff, xy to the second plus 3, and then we've got plus 3y to the second, plus 3y to the second. They got sneaky, they changed it around, right? But I call it the stacking method so we can keep it all straight. So we got 1 plus 1 is 2x to the second y. Then we've got negative 3 plus 3. And y to the second, it doesn't matter because think of this as a label. Like this would be apples, this would be oranges, and this would be grapes. Okay, so xy to the second is grapes, y to the second is apples, and x to the second y would be oranges, whatever. Just remember, it doesn't matter. All we're doing is counting the terms, okay? So minus 3 plus 3 would just be 0. So it's just going to cancel out, okay? And then we got 5 grapes plus 3 grapes equals what? 8xy to the second, right? So we got 8. What do we do? Okay. Oh, 2xy to the second. Okay. Did they trick me? Plus, no. xy to the second, that should be 8. All right. Did I get tricked? Oh, I did get tricked. Look at that. Did you find the error? I got tricked. Okay. So it's not 8, it's 5 minus 3 grapes. So it'd be 2xy to the second. See, Miss Martin, I didn't do these questions before. I was just going along and doing them, so I make mistakes too. But you see, when I did it, I'm like, wait a minute, my answer's not there at all, is it? So I had to look at my calculations and make sure. I'm like, did I do something wrong? And yes, Miss Martin did something wrong, so I had to fix it, didn't I? And so it should be the 2x, it should be plus. So it should be the 2xy plus the 2xy to the second. So that should be our answer right there. Okay, so it proves that I am doing this from scratch, just like you guys, because I didn't know that. I couldn't figure out what I did wrong for a minute there. If you want more practice on this and you want to understand it, Ms. Martin has a whole sheet of these that we can do, okay? So come to my room and I can get you more of those. And those will be on every test. Like terms, that's why I have a tutorial on like terms, because it's usually on every test, whether you're doing the ACT or PSAT or SAT, okay? Okay, so far we've answered 9. Which of the following describes the solution of the equation above? Okay, so what we're doing is we're solving for x, right? So again, I haven't done this, so let's see what I'm doing here. So that would be 7 times half, so that'd be 3.5 x, 3.5 x minus 49 equals, again, I haven't done these out, so I'm just working with it here. So that'd be 3.5x up, this is easy, okay? 3.5x, you got 3.5x on this side and 3.5x on that side, and you do 3.5x minus 3.5x, you can't do it. So it's just 0. Okay, so 10 would be, oh, no. Not 0. The equation has no solutions. When you cross out the x, it's not x equals 0. My bad. Because x does not equal 0, x is crossed out. Okay? So the equation has no solutions. When you get rid of the x variable, when there is no letter left, because you had 3.5x minus 3.5x, you get 0x. That is not correct. So when you have 0x, it automatically is no solution. Okay, remember that rule. If you subtract from the letter variable, and it comes up to be 0, that's a no solution answer, okay? Let's go ahead. The table below shows the monthly electricity bills of Joseph and Samuel for the first 5 months of a year. Based on the information in the table, which of these statements is true about the ranges and medians of the bills? Okay, the ranges is highest from lowest, right? And the median is which one is in the middle. Okay, so you got to rank them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then whichever one is in the middle would be the median one. Okay, so both the range and the median of Joseph's bills are less than the range. Okay, so our lowest one is 149 for this one, and the highest one is 188. Okay, so let's just see what the range is there. And this is for Sam. Okay, so Sam is 188. Okay, 188 minus 149. I'm not going to do it in my head, so that's 39. Okay, let's see what the highest one. Remember, the range is from the highest to the lowest. So this is the lowest, and what's the highest? 193. Ooh, that range is bigger, right? For Joseph. Joseph has a bigger range. Let's see what the range is. 193 minus 145. That is 48. Okay, so we know that Joseph has a bigger range. Both the range and median of Joseph's bills are less than the range. Okay, we know that one's wrong, right? Because we know the range of Joseph's is bigger. Both the range and median of Joseph's bills are greater than the range and median. Okay, that could be because we haven't done the median yet. So let's see, that's a maybe. I'm going to put an M. The range of Joseph's bills is less than the range of Samuel's bills. Nope, that one's going to be wrong. The range of Joseph's bill is greater than the range of Samuel's bills. Okay, so now we got to figure out the median. Okay, so this is the highest. This is the lowest. This is the second highest. This is the second lowest. Okay, so that is the median. So I'm going to write 181 is the median for Sam, because median is middle. Remember, okay, so how you remember the median? Remember the median in the road is like that cement barrier in between a two-thing highway, like if you're going down in Orlando. You got that cement barrier, and you got one-way traffic going one way and the other traffic on the other way. The median is in the middle, right? So the median is always the middle number. So here, this is the highest, this is the lowest. This is the second lowest, this is the second highest. So it's going to be 180. Okay, so 180 is the median for Joseph. So Joseph has a lower median but a higher range, right? So both the range and median of Joseph's bills are greater. Nope, that's not right. The range of Joseph's bills is greater than the range of Samuel's, yes. While the median of Joseph's bill is less than the median, yep. So it would be D on that one. Okay, so that's the answer for that one. Okay, let's go to the next one. The table above presents information about the 810 train cars in service on a railroad. Approximately what percentage of the train cars in service are double-decker cars that have been in service for less than 10 years? Okay, so in service less than 10 years, we've got 231. Okay. So the table above represents information about the 810 cars in service on the railroad. Approximately what percentage of the train cars in service, okay, so we got 810, are double-decker that had been in service for less than 10 years. In service less than 10 years, so it'd be 16. So it'd be 16 out of 810. So I'm going to just take 16, divide by 810. Ooh, it's like 2%, right? 0.0197. That is going to round that is going to make that round up to a 2, right? 0.02 is equal to 2%. Okay, just like, remember, I'm going to use that example again. 108, right? 1.08 was 8% sales tax, right? So we know the 0.02 is equal to 2%, right? So in this case, it would be this answer right here. Wow, so we're doing great. We've answered 12 of these questions already. Should we keep going? Let's keep going. All right. A moving company uses plastic wrap to bundle groups. Let's go to 15. I think if we answer 15 on one and 10 on the other, that's 25. That's going to give us plenty, okay? I don't want to overwhelm you with different concepts. I want you guys to get these easy ones down. If you come to Miss Martin's room, I can give you another PSAT test, or you can try these on your own, okay? If you just watch this video and then give it a day and then try to do them on your own, that might help too. Or you can just come to me and I'll give you more practice tests, okay? A moving company uses plastic wrap to bundle groups of boxes together. If a portion of plastic wrap that measures 900 inches in length is used to bundle each group of boxes, how many group of boxes can be bundled using 1,500? Okay, so 900 inches in length is used to bundle each. Oh, okay, so it's 900. How many groups of boxes can be bundled using 1,500 of the same type of plastic wrap? A moving company uses plastic wrap to bundle groups of boxes together. If a portion of plastic wrap that measures 900 inches in length is used to bundle each group of boxes, how many group of boxes can be bundled using 1,500 feet of the same type of plastic wrap? Well, that doesn't make sense very much, does it? 915. Oh, this is the sneaky part. It's 900 inches and we're getting 1,500 feet. That's what we're doing. Okay, so let's convert this 1,500 feet into inches. That's what we're gonna do. Okay, so 1,500. How many inches are in a foot? 12 inches, right? So I'm gonna take the 1,500 feet times 12. So we're gonna get it in inches. So now we got 18,000 inches. Now what are we going to do? We're going to divide that 18,000 by the 900, right? Per bundle, so divided by 900, and we get 20. Oh, easy peasy. There we go. You see the 20 right there. Okay, now let's go to the next one. The table below shows the number of calories in a cheeseburger at 6 different restaurants. Okay, 6 different restaurants. What is the difference in the number of calories in a cheeseburger at Riverside, a Riverside Diner right there, and the median? Okay, what is the difference in the number of calories in a cheeseburger? Okay, so that's 1120. I'm going to write 1120. And the median number of calories in cheeseburgers at all 6 restaurants. So the median, okay. So I'm just going to rank these real quick. That's going to be, okay, so that's 1. That's 2. What's the next one? The 900, 3. The next one is 800, 4. Then it's 740 and 700. So this is 5 and 6. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and so the 6, which one is the median? So it would be between 1 and 6, so it would be 3. So it'd be 1, 6, 2, 5, 3, 4. So it's going to be between these two. It's going to be between 3 and 4. So it's going to be 900, between 900 and 810. Okay. So what is the difference in the number of calories in the cheeseburger at the Riverside Diner and the median number of calories in cheeseburgers at all 6 restaurants? So the median between 900, so that's 90, so it's 810. Plus that's difference of 90 divided by 2 is 45. So 45 is 855. 855, so 1120 minus 855 is 265. Oh, right here, 265. Okay, so let's go through that, what I did. They wanted to know the Riverside, which is the 1120, minus the 855. Okay, so what I was doing, let's just make sure 14 is C. Yep. So what we did was, we knew that 3 and 4 was going to be the median. So we knew 900 and 810. So what I did was I subtracted that, and I got the 90. I divided that by 2, and I got 45. So then I took the 810, which was the number 4, and added 45. I added 45 to it, so I got 855. Then I took that 855 and subtracted it from the 1120, and I got the 265. That's how I got that one. All right. A circle is graphed in the XY plane. If the circle has a radius of 3 and the center of the circle is at 4, 2, which of the following could be an equation of the circle? Oh, I hate those. Okay, it has to be 3. And I'm going to skip that one because I don't like those. We got plenty to pick from. We're not going to pick that one. Okay. Let's go to 16. Let's do this grouping because this answers for 16 through 18, and then I'm going to be done with this, okay? So what we're doing is if a ninth grader student at the high school is chosen at random, which of the following is closest to the probability that the student will have a GPA of 3.0 or greater? 3.0 or greater, and at the high school is chosen at random, which of the following is closest to the probability that the student will have a GPA? So for the 327 ninth grader students. Okay, so what we got to do, if a ninth grade student at the high school is chosen at random, which of the following is closest to the probability that the student will have a GPA of 3.0 or greater? So we got to add these two together. 61 plus 95, that's 156. So it should be 156 divided by the 327, right? Divided by 327 is 47.7, 0.477. We're going to round up to 48, okay? So let me explain what we did. It says if a ninth grader at the high school, we know there's 327 total, so that's going to be my denominator, okay, is chosen at random, which of the following is closest to the probability that the student will have a GPA of 3.0 or greater? So we're going to add this number, and we're going to add this number. I did that. And if I add those two numbers, I get the 156. So then I have the 156 over the 327, and I get that calculation of 48%, okay? So now let's go to the next one. We're going to fold this over so we have it. What is the difference? What is the difference to the nearest whole percent between the percentage of students enrolled in Propel who had a 3.0 greater and the percentage of students not enrolled in Propel who had a GPA of 3.0 or greater? Okay, so what we're going to do, what is the difference to the nearest whole percent between the percentage of students enrolled in Propel who had it? Okay, so enrolled in Propel. So what we got to do is we got to enrolled in Propel, so we got to get a total here. So we got to go 61 plus 48. And that's 109, okay? And then let's add this one up. 95 plus 123, and that's 218, okay? If we add these two up, you're going to get the 327. So what is the difference to the nearest whole percent between the percent of enrolled in Propel with a 3.0 or greater? Enrolled in Propel, 3.0, so 61. Okay, so 61 out of 109, and the percentage of students not enrolled in Propel who had a GPA. So we have to do the 95 into 218. Okay, so let's do those calculations. So we're going to do 61 divided by 109 and we get 55.9, so let's say 56%. Okay? Then let's do the other one. We're going to go 95 divided by 218, and that's going to be 43.5. We're going to round up to 44. Okay? So now we got 56 minus 44. What percent? What is 56 minus 44? We get 12%, don't we? So the answer for 17 would be D. Okay, so it is asking, this is how we did it. What is the difference in the nearest whole percent between the percentage of students enrolled in Propel who had a 3.8? So we needed to know all of them enrolled in Propel. So that would be the 109. We had to add these two together. And then not enrolled, we had to add these two together. Those become our denominators. And then they wanted specifically what percentage was 3.0 or greater in Propel, and 95 into 218, and you got to get the difference between the two. That's how I did that, okay? Then the last one, of the students enrolled in the Propel program, we know it's going to be this, the ratio of boys to girls is approximately 2/3. Oh, that's interesting. So what I do for the denominator is I add those together. So 2 plus 3 is 5, right? So the ratio of boys to girls is approximately 2 to 3. So 2 out of 5 are boys, and 3 out of 5 are girls. Okay. And that is enrolled. So are there more girls or are there more guys or boys in the Propel program? That would be girls. That's interesting, the Propel program. I assume those are, that's sort of like the Cambridge program or the IB program here in Florida. So it says, which of the following is the best estimate of the number of girls enrolled in the program? Okay. So we know, that, so we've already got that calculation, don't we? So we know 109, what we want to do is divide that by 5. Okay, so let's see. So what is 3/5? Well, let's do it this way. Let's go 3 divided by 5 is 0.60, okay? And then, so logically, the 2 divided by 5 is 0.4, okay? And here, we know that it's 109, okay? And we're looking for the girls enrolled, right? Girls enrolled in the program. So we're going to go 109, 109. You see what I'm doing? 109 times the 0.60, and we get 65.4. Oh, okay, and it's right here. We got 65 girls in the program. Okay, so the correct answer is B on that one. Okay, so we've done 18 of the calculator ones. I think that's enough for you guys to digest right now. And hopefully you have learned some pointers. If you want more practice sheets, you can come to Miss Martin. And now that I've done this stuff, maybe what you can do is go on and do your own and see if you can get further and understand what we're working on from what you've learned already with Mrs. Martin. So hopefully this helped, and you are going to, all you need to do is get 15 right. Now remember, of the ones you don't know how to do, what letter are you going to pick at the front? A or D? Let's say I'm going to pick D. For anything that I don't know, I'm going to pick D and just hope for the best, and we're going to get 2, 3, 4 points out of that. And then we got to get 10 to 12 to 16 right on our own. So if we can do that, we'll pass and get our graduation requirement we need on this test. We need 15 right on this test to get our 430 and get our graduation requirement for math. So hopefully that helped, and we look forward to you making progress. And also the good news is anything you're learning for the PSAT can be used for the ACT. And remember, Miss Martin has more worksheets and more tutorials on this YouTube channel that you guys can look at and to learn more concepts. Hopefully that'll help you, and we will get you that graduation diploma. Remember, I have tutoring every day after school, or if you're available during 5th period and you can get a pass from your teacher, I'm in 34, 133. Hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.